Games Done Quick has been doing 2 speedrunning marathons a year since 2011, and things have changed quite a bit over the years. Bigger venues, more runners, millions raised for charity, and most beneficial for the audience, even crazier speedruns to watch. The last few years, it seems like there's always something new to raise the bar at these events. Whether it's a special category for a well-known game, or a new route that makes the same game run entirely different. With Summer Games Done Quick just around the corner, what better way to prepare than to look back at some of the best and most unbelievable moments that have happened during a GDQ marathon. Let's look at the top 5.
5.
SGDQ 2016 saw the inclusion of Super Mario Maker on the roster of games being speedrun. Now, how do you run a game that's solely based on user-created levels shared online? Well, the only way that makes sense, of course. A completely blind race where other people in the community created levels specifically for the race itself. This unpredictable battle royale pitted 2 teams of 4 against each other over the course of 8 levels they had never seen before. From speeding thwomp walls to bullet-hopping gauntlets, you feel the pressure of every jump as the audience groans along with the runners at every death. What I love about this race is that it shows how versatile the runners are. These guys know Mario physics and are able to adapt in any situation the game throws at them. It shows a mastery of the mechanics rather than just memorization of how to pull off a particular section. And to put it all in perspective, directly after the blind race, they did a run through of even harder levels that they had seen before, and they make it look like child's play. This kind of thing could keep 2D Mario speedruns fresh at Games Done Quick for a long time.
4.
As I mentioned earlier, we've seen a lot of variations from the typical speedrun at the last few marathons, including blindfolded runs, one-handed runs, and even 2-player, 1-controller runs. Typically, one person moves while the other does actions, and it takes a lot of teamwork and communication, especially in games like Dark Souls. But then I saw the opposite. A 1-player, 2-controllers run of Goof Troop. Normally, this is a great game for co-op where 2 players have to work together to solve puzzles, but Yagamoth does it all by himself. Not only does it take so much concentration to control both characters at the same time, but he moves with such grace that you wouldn't even know it was one person if you didn't see him on camera. And look at this, he's spreading his fingers to both controllers to do these actions simultaneously. It's insane. There's something just so impressive about how fast and efficiently he does this. It's like patting your head and rubbing your tummy at the same time, but if you were also solving a Rubik's Cube with your feet.
3.
One of my favorite parts of the GDQ marathons is Task Block. This is where runners will use code they've made and a modified Rob the Robot to do things in games that would be impossible for humans to do on their own. Hence the name Tool-Assisted Speedrun. They've done some ridiculous things over the years, and it seems to get better and better each time. They recreated the original Super Mario Bros. Within Super Mario World, and painted beautiful pictures in Brain Age while still getting the answer correct. But my favorite moment was when they were showing off Pokemon Red. After some careful menu movement and what seemed like a really long time of the code loading, somehow they were able to connect to the Twitch chat and show what people were saying in real time, emotes and all. I still have no idea how they did this, and it blows my mind every time I see it. Forget Twitch plays Pokemon, this is the time that Pokemon played Twitch, and I love it. It truly shows what a tool-assisted speedrun could be capable of. Next year, they'll probably just go full-on Watch Dogs and shut the entire building down.
2.
One of my favorite runners to watch at these events is Sinister1. He does a lot of NES speedruns, but is most known for his Mike Tyson's Punch-Out runs, specifically doing them blindfolded. The most recent GDQ marathon had a blindfolded race between himself and Zallard1, and it was just mesmerizing to watch. They made the crowd be completely silent during the race because they had to listen for audio cues to know when to punch or dodge at the right times. Each victory was so impressive, you can tell the audience just wants to jump up and cheer, but I was really drawn in by their focus. Every move is calculated from memorization of each sound the fighters make. Zallard actually won the race, but the fact that they both beat Mike Tyson is so much more impressive when you hear Sinister talk about this run a few years ago.
So I'm just gonna say something about Mike Tyson. I don't want to say it's impossible to beat him blindfolded, but the odds of it happening would probably be about the same as the odds of winning Powerball or something like that.
He thinks it's virtually unattainable at this point. But now, after years of practice and dedication, not only is it possible, but replicable for anyone to pick up and learn. This is so awesome and what speedrunning is all about. A certain strat might seem impossible at first, but if enough people get behind it, anything can be achievable. I mean, except for beating Mike Tyson in real life, they probably still couldn't do that. Honorable mention.
Tassing leads to some truly crazy things with Pokemon, as we've seen, but that doesn't mean we should discredit what the human runners can do too. The Pokemon Glitches Showcase is something that I really struggled to wrap my mind around. While watching a lot of speedrunners, I often think, how do they figure that out? But when it comes to this segment, it just takes that mindset to a whole nother level. Just imagine the Missingo glitch took a bunch of steroids and got supersized into some crazy stuff. And that's pretty much what we're dealing with here. Seeing exploits used in the game's code by manipulating data through tiles and items, it's just something that needs to be seen to be believed. Shenanigans, who ran the exhibition this year in 2016, showed us some crazy things like Pika Walk, which in Pokemon Yellow completely corrupts the game data and bricks the game save, to extending the number of Pokemon you can have in your Gold Party. It's truly incredible what can be achieved just by moving around some tiles and ordering items differently. This year's exhibition was a solid 20-minute block of mind-boggling glitches mixed with amazingly funny banter from Shenanigans and his friends. And I highly recommend you watch it if you want to see your favorite Pokemon games ruined. Like, literally ruined. I mean, they brick the game saves for crying out loud.
1.
SGDQ 2015 highlighted the Tetris Grandmaster Showcase, and at the time, this was astonishing to watch. Not only is it some of the fastest Tetris play I've ever seen, but it throws in all sorts of other stuff like adding garbage or turning invisible. I thought this was the most outrageous thing I would ever see at a Games Done Quick. But then, I saw STEPMANIA. Just look at this, I am truly speechless. I don't know how in the world he can even read and understand the notes he needs to hit that fast, but he does, and reaches peaks of almost 30 notes per second. Even when they slow down, they make it look like it's nothing. This isn't even technically a speed run, and yet I can legitimately say that I've never seen something more impressive at a Games Done Quick marathon. Oh, come on, now they're going up and down, rotating, and the guide arrows are invisible? That note streak! This is just, Okay, I've calmed down a bit. Now, undoubtedly, you have your favorite moments from GDQ as well, and I would love to hear about them. Tell me in the comments below, there are definitely more awesome things than could have fit on this list. Be sure to check out SGDQ this year, July 3rd through the 9th, and support Doctors Without Borders. Who knows, maybe there'll be an even crazier run we've never seen before. Hey everyone, I'm Snowman and thanks for watching. Huge thanks to my friend Heavy Eyed for providing the honorable mention to this list. Check out his channel here. If you've ever thought about speedrunning yourself but don't know where to start, I made a video going over the basics here. Be sure to follow me on Twitter for updates, and if you want to support the channel, you can always do that through Patreon. All proceeds go to improving the channel in the future. I'll see you guys next time. Stay frosty, my friends.